Hey YouTube, we're finally going to finish up our experiment with the poor man's fiberglass, PMF, whatever you want to call it. The canvas, glue, and paint method to cover your teardrop campers. So come on along, I'm going to see what I can do to destroy this, see how well it holds up, see how good it sticks to the board. So y'all come on, we'll get some experimentation going. Alright everybody, I was looking at my videos and the most popular one by far is the poor man's fiberglass. I guess all the tiny camper and teardrop camper people out there looking for ways to do it or if it works and whatnot. So I'm going to make a little video, demonstrate how I actually did it. I didn't do that in my camper build. So what we're going to do, I took me a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, what I built my camper out of. And this is just 8 ounce painter's cloth canvas. Bought it at Lowe's. I believe it was 8 ounce. What I'm going to do here, I cut a hole in it because I'm curious to see just how waterproof this stuff actually is. I just went by everybody's suggestions on all the camper build threads and such. So I hope I hope all their stuff was correct, and this is good waterproofing. I know they claim it how the old boat builders and plane builders did it back in the day. Anyway, I'm using Top Bond 2 for the first coat. And there's a bunch of different ways I read how to do it. Some people say soak the canvas, then put it on there. Some say put it on the board and soak the canvas and put it on. Some say paint over the canvas after you put it down with more glue. I didn't do that. I put the glue down and stuck the canvas like the box suggested. Okay, so all I'm going to do is put on a coat just like I built my camper with. Find out if it actually worked or I'm going to have a problem later. Guess I should have done this before I built the camper, but I just took everybody's word on the internet since the internet's true. If it's on the internet, it's got to be true. Yeah, I put it down kind of thick just to make sure it'd get down in the canvas and such. Alright, so that's all I did on my whole 4x8 camper. And after this, I let this dry. Then I did 2 coats of paint, 50-50 water to paint mixture. And then I did 3 more full strength coats of paint. So anyway, that's where we're at. I'll come back and I'll do the paints in between each coat, let them dry, then put some more paint and more paint and more paint. At the end we're going to See how waterproof this little hole is I cut in it, and we're gonna see how easy this stuff tears off this board. See how strong it is. Anyway, we'll get back with you. Alright, on this little test here, I figured what better than a stick gouging the side of your camper when you're out camping or something. It held up fine. It just left some marks, rub marks down the side of it. As you can see, it didn't really do much to it. On the next one, I took my old pair of channel locks because on my camper I was walking down beside it with an old metal bed rail and hit it pretty hard, and as you can see when you hammer on it, it left a couple little dents, but it didn't cut through the cloth. Now the hammer took some gouges out of it, but it didn't rip, or see, I was trying to see if it'd rip and pull it down if something sharp hit it. I mean, it stuck into it, but those are some sharp claws on that hammer. It did go through the sharp points, but like I said, you can tap that. You could tap that back down, fill it with some silicone or something. You'd be good to go, I think. Or if it's really bad, just cut it out and make you a patch, glue it back in, paint over it. Any excuse to play a fire. I don't think I'd park right next to a blazing campfire in it. It seemed to start melting pretty quick, scorching. Now, I was giving it all I had to pull this off. Like I said, it's stuck pretty darn good. I don't know if any of the other methods would be even any better, but just the method it comes on the packaging directions seemed to work fine. It took canvas with it. I've seen there's just a couple other videos on doing this I've seen, and on theirs it actually pulled some board fibers up. So I think all in all that stuck really well. And that wasn't a clean piece of canvas. That was some leftovers I had. You can see the paint there on it. Now I cut that little hole in the board so I could feel underneath, see if it went through, and it did just fine. It stayed hard. I left that overnight and felt it underneath, no problem. So. As you you can see it. I mean, it turned out, it looks good. I just don't care for the rough texture on it. And on the corners where I really don't like it, you can see right there, if you pause it or slow it down, where you overlap the seams on the canvas, it's really noticeable. I mean, you could go around the whole thing, I guess, and put trim around it, which I actually did on the top because I really didn't like the way it looked right there at eye level, because I doubled over, it's doubled over. And another tip maybe is finding some tighter wove canvas. That cheap painter's canvas, when you cut it, it just unravels and unravels. It gets fuzzy on the edges, so that made it even worse. That's why I put the trim board up top. It's really bad up there. Alright, here's my final thoughts on the Poor Man fiberglass. I was really pretty impressed with how tough it was. The way it stuck down, it took all I had to get that canvas pulled off of there. And you can see, I don't know if you can see, but it left canvas on it. I use really smooth plywood when I built mine, because I was thinking about just straight up painting it or bed lining it, so it might have stuck even better if it was a little bit rougher wood. But I was really impressed with how well it stuck. All the scraping and beating on it, it held up really good. I was afraid this stuff wouldn't be any good if you was backing it in or ran into a tree limb or something at the campground, but it held up really good. And then you could take a little hammer and just beat the little spot back down, and you could cover this up, or cut you another piece out and glue it back down, repaint over it. I think it'd be really good. The water test, it did good. It stayed. I let it set over a day. No water permeate through the glue or anything. So overall, I think it's ended up being a pretty good covering for a camper. Me personally, I probably wouldn't do it again. I don't really like that canvas look, but I think I'd go ahead and go with aluminum or bed liner or something. But anyway, if you're thinking about it, it works. So that's my thoughts on the Poor Man canvas, Poor Man fiberglass. Well, there's my experiment. If you got any ideas, I'll leave this board laying around the garage here. If you want to see me do something to it, got another idea how to torture it, or anything you want done, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get back with you and let you know how it goes, or film it. Anyway, if you like this video, like it, subscribe it, share it with all your camper building buddies. I'll see y'all next time.